Members of the Premier's cabinet is meeting today to discuss next steps in the battle against the third wave. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Colin DeMello has the latest.
It has been nearly 2 weeks since the Ford government implemented a province-wide shutdown, yet the province's COVID-19 case numbers only continue to rise, leaving the province now in a position of having to consider new measures. Just 4 days after Ontario set a record for its COVID-19 case count, the record has been broken. More than 4,700 new cases were reported today, a total of 400,000 since the pandemic began. The number of patients in ICU has grown to record highs as well, stretching hospital staff to the limit.
No, this is definitely unprecedented, and so we are asking nurses from other provinces, to your point, and we're also looking at nurses within home and community care and other sort of sectors to come and help us in the acute care setting, because we are so under-resourced right now to treat the patients that are coming in through the door.
CTV News has learned that the Ford government will now reach out to the federal government for health care resources. The government will make an official request for additional ICU nurses to deal with the third wave.
We have taken steps every step along the way since this pandemic began, realizing that we would need to enhance our hospitals' capacity. Since this pandemic began, we have brought forward 3,100 new beds, enhanced our ICU capacity by 14%.
And the Premier is set to meet with his cabinet today to discuss potential new measures to deal with the rising case counts. The Premier being urged to listen to scientific advisors.
I think everything should be on the table, and if they're saying the best way to deal with this is to take into account things like closing down temporarily certain parts of the economy, introducing a curfew, dealing with some other circumstances that we still have because there is a lot of confusion out there still, then I think that's what we should be listening to.
The province is also expected to reveal the latest modeling data tomorrow, the context for a potential new COVID-19 crackdown. The politicians are calling on the Premier not to wait and act today.
People understand that we're in the midst of a pandemic and tough decisions need to be made. What we get from this government instead are press conferences announcing that there is an update, but that update can only be shared tomorrow. Don't keep us guessing what it may be. Just tell us what you know. Tell us what you want to tell us tomorrow, today.
A curfew has been under consideration in this province for months now, even during the second wave. However, sources close to the Ford government say they're monitoring the situation in Montreal with the riots happening as a result of their curfews. And they are unlikely to implement something similar to that here. At Queen's Park, Colin DeMello, CTV News.